Okay, so today I want to help you build your self-sustaining digital product ecosystem for the next 30 days. Now, ideally, I want to help you build it because most solopreneurs, they struggle to launch their offer. And the main thing they focus on most of the time at the, 99% of people at the beginning is try to tweak their logo, try to build their modules, try to build landing pages, maybe sometimes even build the funnels and or start building the product. And in the end, that thing simply flops. It fails, you don't sell anything. And the main reason for that is because you've built one segment of the entire system or one piece of the system, and you forgot exactly what the ecosystem consists of. So in this video, I'm going to share with you and break it down for you and help you reason why do you need to build an ecosystem that aligns with each other rather than just one piece and thinking that one piece is going to be the whole way and make you rich overnight. So if you want to think carefully about it, you can actually ask yourself, if Elon Musk, okay, was not the face of the brand of Tesla, do you think they will sell a car? Probably not. Maybe, but probably not. Why? Because he's the main driver, the main person that's pushing the brand and that are basically inspiring people, right? By doing cool stuff. Other than that, if people bought the car but realized or came to find out the car doesn't come with chargeable station or there's no chargeable station anywhere, within the city, within the state, etc. Do you literally think people are going to buy those cars? No, they're not. No, they're not, because they're not going to spend 60, 80, $100,000 on a car or even more. Then later to find out they cannot charge it anywhere. They have to always come back home to charge it, right? It's not. It doesn't make sense. Now, ask yourself even this: would you even buy the car? You yourself, would you buy it if the tech, the battery, or the support or anything else within the electronics of the car were crappy, low quality, or just fails, doesn't work? Would you even buy it? No, you will not, right? That's common sense. Why do I say this and use this as comparison? Because all this has to do with a ecosystem, right? So there's many things that need to align for the brand to, excel or to grow or to even scale when it comes to selling the product. It's not just one piece. So if Elon Musk was a mouthpiece, was the brand, the face, but had no prototype or had no factory or have no thing to show, would it even sell? Probably not. Again, it probably will not. Why? Because he needs to show at least a prototype in order for him to be capturing people's attention, and from those attention build demand, and from those demands start collecting upfront deposits for the car they're going to deliver within the next year or two or maybe in the future, right? Think about it in a sense now of your digital business. It's the same way. It's done in a similar manner. So a digital product doesn't make you free, okay, out of the blue, if you don't have a ecosystem attached to it, right? I'm telling you again, a digital product does not make you free or doesn't give you freedom or doesn't make you rich overnight, etc., if you don't have an ecosystem. Now, even if you have an ecosystem, it's not going to happen overnight. It's still going to take time. And the reason it's going to take time is because you have to build a foundation with people that are interested in you as the face of the brand, not only the product. Now, the product might be cool, and it might be something like, as you can see in e-commerce, where they can sell a shirt, they can sell a shoe, they can sell a jean, etc. It's solely based on the product. But when people see it like that, they're missing a very key element. Most of the time, when you think about e-commerce, they don't simply focus on the product. They focus on the lifestyle around the product, or they focus on the aspirational pieces around the product, who the person wants to be, or the buyer wants to be like, wants to imitate, wants to belong part of, etc. Okay, so when you think about all those things, you have to also think about your product. If you're building a foundation within the next 30 days, you want to stop thinking as an employee where you just have to do a lot of tasks. You want to start thinking like an operator, okay? How are you going to build a system in order for you to elevate your product, position your product in a way that outcompetes your competitor, but at the same time, it attracts the right audience in order for them to be part of something that is totally different than the competition. And this is where I personally come in, because when I help my clients build a 30-day blueprint, the main thing I focus on is who is that person? Who are you as the client or my client, or as the individual, which is the entrepreneur, the solopreneur, the remote worker, the freelancer, etc. And the reason I do that is because I want to build a product around you that fits and aligns with your purpose, your desire, your goals, etc. And from there, we start seeing, okay, what do you want to do? What do you want to achieve? How do you want to do it? And why do you want to do? What's the main purpose? What's the mission behind it? What's the things that drives you in order for you to wake up every day, build upon it, and try to achieve something greater in life? Once you understand those key elements, you ingrain them in the product. You implement them. You consolidate them in a way that it speaks out within your copy, within your messaging, within the people that you attract, within the offer that you create. And this makes you unique, this makes you stand out, this makes you authentic, and ultimately, this is what will attract people to you. Okay, that core thing that makes you different, that makes you unique from your competition. So if you want to work with me one-on-one, in order to do that, you have a link below this video. And based on that, you can fill out the form to see if you qualify. And from there, again, I don't do sales calls, but I do run you to a list of questions. And from there, you let me know what are your possibilities in order for you to work with me based on my schedule and based on the open spots that I have. Other than that, I'm going to break down to you right now. Okay, week number one, what are we going to do? Week number one is to validate the demand for the idea that you have. Okay, so if you have an idea, it's not about guessing, but it's about research. And based on research, you don't want to do it in silence, or you don't want to go ghost mode with your research, but you want to think, how can you get more data to validate the research? So if you can do your research by your own, by doing some research on, I don't know, Facebook ads, maybe on YouTube ads, maybe on YouTube videos, maybe in some certain groups, that's awesome. But you also want to chat with people to do polls, surveys, DMs, trending topics, and or check out lead magnets. What are people gravitating towards? So if your competition is putting something out there and you kind of see that, hey, you might be able to create that as well, you want to start collecting them, compiling them in order for you to start validating, okay, how are you able to do this? Now for myself, I also do this for my clients. I go and do the research with them so they can learn the skills necessary for them to build upon and improve upon what they're doing. Okay, so I don't simply say to them like on one-on-one mentorship, like, hey, go do this, hey, go do that. I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs that earn 6-figure and 7 figures doing that, meaning things that worked in the past, things that they heard from someone at a mastermind. They have no stats, no data, etc. They're randomly regurgitating information they heard, worked in the past, doesn't work currently. Probably they themselves ain't doing it right now, but they just keep on selling people that idea of, hey, pay me 1,000, pay me 2,000, pay me 3,000 for a 1-hour coaching call or consulting call, where they just give you regurgitated information that you see like, oh wow, something unique. But in the end, it's something probably you can find on YouTube, ChatGPT may have told you, etc., etc. And it's really a dishonest way of treating people, but at the same time, you know, that's how the industry works, because there's a lot of charlatans out there. But the idea for you is to avoid that and do the research yourself. Having guidance is good, but when you do the research yourself, you learn that skill, you're going to be able to craft surveys like this. And this is an example of myself. So I've used this survey in order for me to understand who the person is that's coming in, what type of offer, what type of thing they're dealing with the most as a pain or problem that I can create offers for, what type of way or manner do they want me to explain that for them? Is it a course? If it's a workshop? Is it a masterclass, etc.? What are they willing to spend in order for them to solve the problem? What they would like to do in the coming days or weeks, etc. Okay, so they would let me know. Based on this, it's a multiple choice question, very simple. They can choose from 3 to 5 answers. One of them will be sufficient. Once they choose them, I run this through my ChatGPT, and from there, I come out to see the pattern. What is the pattern between all of them? What are the key steps if I have to build a process from scratch? What are the key steps I can guide them through in order for me to help them be more efficient, more practical, and more leverage in order for them to achieve their outcome? And this is how I do it. Now from there, I help them build it one-on-one. Why? Because if I simply let everyone go by their own, it's going to be difficult for them to understand how they automate everything. But if I can be there to support them every step of the way, building the ad, building the landing page, maybe the survey, also the referral page, then also the welcome page, the welcome email, the sequence, the automation, all those things, by the end, once you're finished, basically what you're going to have to do is just tweak the process, right? You run traffic, leads to it, whatever you want to do, and basically that you just focus on tweaking it, because You have already system to gather the data, you've done your research, and now it's about validating if your offer is going to sell, because you're going to sell the offer way before you basically build it. Now, week number 2, you want to craft the offer engine. So it's not a course, it's not a guide. What it is a clear transformation, defined avatar, simple 3 to 5 step path, and then a reasonable way to act, or a reason to act that moment. Okay, again, we're not talking about postponing stuff, we're talking about acting fast. So you're targeting a very small demographic of the people that are ready to pay. Now, some people will say to you within the survey, yes, I'm ready to pay, but when you reach out to them, they don't want to pay. Why? Because they don't trust you. So the idea is not to pitch them immediately. The idea is to start the conversation with them 2 ways. One is on a personal side. The other one is through your automation, which is your offer. Based on your offer on your offer engine or pre-selling engine that sells the offer for you, what you want to do is basically include within the whole automation certain elements of which, when in your one-on-one conversation, you got as data, and you put those information within the automation. So then the person is getting 2 types of emails, one directly from you and the other one from the automation. And the person is seeing from both angles. You are speaking their language, you see the same thing as they see it, you have a higher elevation than them because you're talking based on competence, based on the subject, and then they start showing interest. So they themselves start coming to you and say to you, hey, how can we work together? What is your program cost, etc., etc., etc. That's how they start the conversation. So for me to give you an idea of how you build this ecosystem, okay, first you want to think on the system is built not to simply convert, but mostly to have a sustainable lifestyle. Okay, you want to have a sustainable lifestyle. Keep that in mind. Why? Because once you start running ads, maybe building a system, maybe creating content, maybe it's something else, maybe you're traveling, maybe you have a second job, or you have a 9-to-5 job, you're trying to get out and this is your side hustle, etc. Once you start doing that, if the thing you're not doing is not leveraged, it's not systemized, and it's unsustainable, you're gonna lose it. It's gonna break, or you're gonna stop. So for you to keep on going and have a compounding effect, you need to set up a pre-sell sequence. You need to have a nurture loop, so something that goes around and around, so that the client can know exactly what to solve, how to solve it, and when is the time to solve it, okay? Because they're opening and closing the payment system, or the cards, or the spots, etc. So you're kind of playing with the demand here. You're also adding email, okay? You're also adding distribution strategies. You're adding lead magnets, low ticket offer, etc. Okay? As a bird's eye view perspective, how I personally have this built out is that I have a flywheel built. Okay? It's built within WAP and also within Beehive. Okay? Within these 2 platforms, I play around with this system. So this is the flywheel where within the first 0 to 30 days, I push 4 things. These 4 things within the system basically helps me understand and get the data I need. And if someone does not want to act fast, I try to help them by then acting based on action. Okay, if they take action, they get a reward. If they take action, they get a reward, and start rewarding them for every action they take before I make the second pitch. So first, I have a big promo pitch. If they don't do that, they have to go through a survey. If they don't do that, they find a low ticket recurring. Then if they don't do that, they can refer and win. So again, they can go cool prizes, modules, maybe some merch, etc. Then it goes to the low ticket, case studies, a course, which is a higher pricing. And then it goes into conversation, which is a more direct one-to-one conversation. So they can reply me, let me know their feedback, what they feel, what they think about all those things. And then it goes into a low ticket. That low ticket, within the 60 to 90 days, as you're seeing based on the screen here, basically it's the high ticket paid in low tier, okay, on a weekly basis. Then you have a one-time price for the high ticket, which includes something else. So one cancels out the other. If someone pays a low ticket, it cancels out the high ticket, because the high ticket, again, is not going to be pushed onto them, but later it will simply be as an upsell. Now, if someone decides to purchase low ticket and then randomly out of the blue also buys a high ticket, the low ticket gets canceled out. So therefore, they're only paying one of them. They're not paying both of them. Okay, so that's just one thing to keep in mind. But I do have other processes like a premium newsletter, because if they want to get my premium newsletter, logically they will be paying the premium newsletter separate and the high ticket separate, or the premium newsletter separate and the low ticket separate. So there's many different avenues people can go. It's only depend on what they're able to pay and what they're able to build. Okay, because sometimes they want to build something, but they're not able to do it because they don't have the tools, the software, the system, or the expertise, or many different things that probably they need. And therefore, I've built many different avenues they can go through. But the main core ecosystem that I have built within this flywheel is this. And this is how I do it. Now, keep in mind, what my main core focus here is to be able to tweak this entire process step by step. It's not to try to build it fully and then launch. No, it's just tweak it step by step by building one and another. So once I launch the offer, it's about focusing on the big promo and the survey. Okay. After that is complete, people went through it. That's when we add the recurring. After that is complete, that's when we add the referral and win, etc., etc. And based on data is how we launch the second campaign. And each of these are a campaign, basically. So that's how I try to do it. And week 4, and again, it won't take 30 days to build this out, but at least the first step in order for you to monetize your list will be within that 30 days. So within 30, you can expect to start monetizing your list even before you even build a course, build a program, build a cohort, whatever you want to build. Now, on week number 4, we're going to combine the pre-sell automation together so that you guys can start selling your product, which is, again, what we talked about, the high ticket. You sell it in a weekly basis, you sell it in installments, or you can sell it into one payment and with like a bonus, etc. It's depending how you want to do it. But you want to start a beta offer, and based on that, you want to give them like early access to a certain amount of people, and that early access can be behind the stage, how you're prepping, how you're creating the campaigns, how you're launching stuff, and that's how you become different in the industry, because you're showing the behind the scenes of how you're doing everything way before you start launching or building the product. And then if you think about it, you're giving them access to see the process before you launch it, while you're launching it, then during the launch, then after you close the doors, and then how you deliver it. So if someone wants to see that from beginning to end, that is basically a one-on-one mentorship. You're giving them full access to everything. And this is how you can send out, you can create an automated path for that to sell it as a mastermind where they can, meet you in person somewhere, wherever you want around the world, but at the same time, you give them access to that full process. Or you can do it within a cohort. So it's totally up to you how you want to do it. But this is how you basically build online income, by having the system built step by step and creating the foundation within 30 days. And this is what I do with my clients as well. When I meet them at the beginning, normally they don't have anything, but then we start building it one by one. And within the 30-day span, working with me, they say like, what the heck, I have everything built. I can launch it immediately. And within the 30 to 60 days, they can start seeing the system monetize. Then they start tweaking, and then within, I normally say to them, 6 to 12 months, you will ideally see some type of income coming in. Maybe it's $1,000 or $2K or $3K monthly basis. Why? Because you spent 3 to 6 months building and tweaking this entire process to the point of you now can see 5 to 1,000, maybe 1,500 leads going through it, and at least I would say like 3 to 5% of them converting. It sounds crazy high, but because of the one-on-one or the touch points where you ask for survey, you go through a poll, you have DMs, you have email replies, all those things, it becomes a more personalized process. And slowly but surely, you remove yourself from the process, because in the beginning, it's a high-touch process. And once you start building one campaign after another, you're slowly removing yourself. And from there, it becomes totally automated. Then the only thing you have to do is go in, tweak it, tweak the numbers, and then from there, build out your freedom ecosystem so that you can, again, capture leads, nurture them, if you want to call it nurture or you want to call it persuading, etc. Then you build trust with them so that you can convert them, and then you start delivering whatever outcome they want to basically build for themselves. All right, so appreciate for watching this video. If you want to work with me, you have the links below. If you want to sign up for my newsletter, you can also check it out. And from there, I will be able to speak to you. You can reply to me, as I said, within my emails. I can speak to you as well, get to know you a bit more. And from there, if there's open spot, I will kindly invite you to work with me. And if you would like to, and I personally work with you to help build your system, I'll be more than happy to do so as well. So again, appreciate it for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.